Welcome back to KWC. Again, it's Kopi with Chris time, and we are back for part 2 of the show. This episode, again, with my Kopi Kaki, Bruce Mathieu. Welcome back to the show, Bruce. We were talking about the last time you gave a lovely message to your daughter. How do you get the money, man?
First, it was, of course, my pay.
Okay,
which was never enough. Okay, and then when it's never enough, there starts the borrowing. Okay.
The borrowing from illegal sources?
From family first, of course.
Right.
It always starts with family and then friends. And then when family and friends know, like,
they wisen
they
up.
smell a rat,
they
that
wisen
something
up.
is up. Okay, you start stealing from your family. Okay, and when stealing from your family cannot go on anymore because there's nothing for you to steal, then comes the criminal ways. Okay, you start doing like robbery, theft, housebreaking, snatching. Yep. But the strange thing was this, although I did all these things, there was one thing that I never go into.
Yeah.
And that was drug trafficking.
Thank God.
Yeah. Thank God. Really thank God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank God, man. Right. So you did all these things to quench the habit.
Yes.
And what happened? All the while, even throughout your national service and even after national service, you were still connected to gang activities.
Yes, I was.
You never left.
I never left. So.
But the same bunch of people.
Yeah, same bunch of people. So. Even if, this is what I can say, even if I didn't met that dude on the stairwell and got introduced to drugs again, it was only a matter of time. Why I say this is because the gang that I used to roll around with, some of them were doing drugs. Okay. Not all of them, but some of them were.
Yeah.
I knew who they were and they knew my past.
Yeah.
So it would only be a matter of time.
Then you would start again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. I have this saying that I would tell the boys that I speak to nowadays. And the saying is this. If you choose not to be bitten by sharks, then you don't go swimming in the sea. All right. So if I choose not to go back to drugs, I have to stop myself from mixing around with people that do.
Yeah.
Because it will only be a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't swim with the sharks.
Yep.
And you mentioned in part 1 that you were incarcerated a total of 5 different occasions.
Yes.
Can we start with the first occasion? What happened?
Okay, so for the first occasion, it was in 1992 or 1992.
Right. You were 23 years old.
Yep. Yeah. No, not yet. December, dude.
Okay, 22 going 23. Yeah.
So during then, I was taking heroin and mixing it with pills. Okay, a very lethal combination. Upjohn, during then.
Upjohn. Upjohns, okay.
Then you know what Upjohns do to people, right?
Yeah,
you take Upjohns, you black out. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
I know, off the air. Later we will speak.
No, I don't know, really.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah. When you take Upjohns, you blacked out. You totally black out. As in you are doing something, but you don't know what you're doing. You might occasionally remember parts of what you're doing.
Bruce, I have to stop you there. For the benefit of our viewers and listeners, for the young ones especially, they don't know what the hell Upjohn is.
Okay, Upjohn 27 in the 80s and the 90s was a very popular sleeping pill used by drug addicts to help them when they can't get themselves on heroin or other stuff, or to help them get the extra high.
So that piece of shit you don't touch too, okay? Yes, all right. Okay, now we got that over and done with.
Okay.
So you combined heroin with Upjohn.
Yes. And the thing about pills is this. When you start taking pills, a lot, if not most of them, will have this habit.
Right.
And the habit is what? Stealing things. They like to take things. I don't know why. You ask any pill popper, they'll tell you the same
They
thing.
all become kleptomaniacs.
Yes, exactly. So that was what happened to me. So one day after taking heroin and pills, I suddenly decided, oh, Bruce, you need a tie. You need a tie. You know, what in the world do I need a tie for? I don't work in an office, right?
Okay.
I don't even work then. I went to Wisma Atria.
Yeah.
I saw a tie, a very lovely tie. I can't remember the shop, but I remember it's Wisma Atria.
Right.
I walked in, I took the tie, I tried, ooh, lovely. And I put it in my pocket and tried to walk out with it.
And then what happened? You got caught.
Of course, I was arrested lah, dude. Walao.
I don't know.
I
You
mean-
didn't get arrested for all the major things, but you got arrested for stealing a fucking tie.
Thank God. Right? So God has a plan for everything.
I think so too. You had to do it for tie.
So-
Okay.
The guys mending the shop
Uh-huh.
stopped me, called the police, and of course, the next thing I knew, when I woke up, I was like, oh shit.
CID's at the door.
I was in Tangling police station in the lockup.
Oh crap.
Because like I said, you blacked out.
Oh, because you were, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you blacked out.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing I remember was waking up and saw the bars and I went, oh shit. Okay, and true enough, I was charged for the very first time in court.
Yeah.
Of course, when I was caught
Yeah.
for theft, they also found drugs on me.
You mean in possession?
Yeah, in
of
possession
drugs.
of drugs. So
Okay.
I was possession, and then my urine was positive also.
Also for consumption.
Yeah. So consumption,
Possession.
possession,
Theft.
and theft.
Okay.
These three. But consumption, it was after my release. I was supposed to go to report for urine tests. That was it.
Okay.
I wasn't really charged in court.
Okay.
But for possession and theft, and since my record was squeaky clean, they gave me 6 months.
So that's your first experience, 6
That's
months.
my first experience. So listen to this, Chris.
Uh-huh.
That means for that period, okay, that was my very first time I was away from my mother for that long, you know. Even during when I was going through
NS.
what BMT, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was only like 3 months, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And in that 3 months, I could see my mom like a few
Yep.
times.
Yeah.
Correct or not? During that was the first extended period I didn't see my mom, you know.
How did you feel?
So one would think that, wow, only child, mom, the closest thing you have.
Yeah.
That months upon months you have in prison would be a good time to reflect. Think of, you know, your wayward ways and then to change yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mhm.
To decide what path you want to take
Mm-hmm.
for the next segment of your life.
Right.
Right? Wrong. Okay? Wrong. The very first day I came out, I actually told my mom not to come to pick me up. I said, Mom, I know how to go back by myself. I'll see you at home. Because the very minute I stepped out of prison, I hailed a cab and I went to my supplier. I scored heroin, dude. I went back high on drugs.
Okay, let me get this right. Where were you? Can I say remanded?
No, I was in prison.
In prison,
yeah.
okay. Where were you in prison at that time? The first
MSP.
What's that?
MSP, medium security prison.
Where is that?
It was in the same, you know, the old Changi prison?
Yeah.
The same compound.
Oh, okay. So it
Yeah.
was still in Changi.
Yes.
Right. So you were there 6 months. You were there 6 months without drugs.
Yep.
You must have had the same shit happen to you again, the runs and all that.
Yep. Happened.
Fuck that.
I,
Okay.
I couldn't sleep like for, if I'm not wrong, like 10 days or something.
But you know, it's weird because you're the guy that said to me, you know, I'm the only child. You're close to my mom, and you would and you know, and I can't see her for like 6 months. Then all that must have occurred to you while you were inside.
That is what I'm trying to tell all the listeners out there.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
Absolutely do not fool around with drugs. Okay? You might think that you have the upper hand. You might say, I just want to try for the very first time. But you know Murphy's Law, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shit does happen the very first time.
And it flows
Okay?
downwards. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
So what if you try drugs for the very first time and you fall in love with that high?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're going to be screwed for the rest of your life.
So
you
basically,
know.
you nullified even your love for your mom.
Exactly. So this is
Fucking
what
hell.
drug addiction can do to a person.
Okay. So 6 months in there didn't help you out. You came out, You went straight to your supply. You started to chase the
Yes.
dragon again.
I went for my urine test because I was supposed to go.
Yeah.
I went once. That's it. I tore the urine card up.
And you got fucked again.
Yep. And after that, basically, I was on the run. So for the next,
On the run.
absconded.
Okay. So you became a fugitive.
Yes. So
Right.
absconded. I couldn't work, of course. That means I have to find money in the illegal way, which I did. All right. Hooked up with a syndicate doing passports. All right.
In Singapore.
In Singapore, yeah. So we shipped passports up to Thailand to have it changed and
Dude, this
everything.
sounds like something out of a movie.
Yeah.
So we have people like that who do shit like this in Singapore. I
Used
sound
to.
like such. I
Yeah,
sound like
used
such a
to.
noob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So did that. Was on a run for like about more than a year. Okay. Then one day when I went to a hotel, I'm not going to mention that hotel,
Yeah.
was doing that same shit that I was doing with the passports.
Yeah.
I got caught
Where in Singapore?
in Singapore. So when I got caught, what I found out later was they were only going to give me a PNG.
What's a PNG?
Persona non grata.
Okay.
That means don't go
Persona
back to the
non
hotel.
grata.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't go back to the hotel anymore.
Right.
Okay. Because they didn't catch me in the act. All right. They knew I was doing something fishy or I was doing something illegal, but they just couldn't put their fingers on it, what I was doing. So they wanted to give me a PNG and that was it. But when the security came to bring me down to the office, in the lift, I called my boss. I spoke to him and he said, Bruce, do not go with him to the office. You go, you are screwed. All right. So of course I panicked. And in my possession, of course, during then.
The same things were on you.
Yeah, so.
Possession again.
Drugs, and of course, a very big penknife.
Can I just ask what the fuck were you doing with a very big penknife?
Self-defense. I mean, I heard there were very big rats, running around in Singapore. Yeah, self-defense.
I know. Sounds like a dumbass question, but I had to ask.
So,
okay.
So I
And
took
you had
out-
a sort of a weapon on you. You
Yeah.
were in possession again.
Yeah, and I took out the knife and I stabbed the dude in the leg.
What? The hotel guy.
Yep, the security guy.
What the fuck?
Because I was high on pills. I tell
You
you.
stabbed him or you slashed him, bro?
Stab. Okay, so I was high on drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to excuse the way I thought. Then it wasn't
You're
100% straight.
excused. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
My thinking was I stab him. Okay, he becomes not that mobile anymore. When the lift door opens,
don't
I
say,
run.
man.
I do a runner.
Yeah. Okay.
I stabbed him. Lift door open. Guess what? It opened directly to the security's office.
Oh, brilliant.
And there was like a bunch of people waiting down there for me.
And what happened?
What happened was...
Good about.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And then the police came. So during the scuffle, I injured myself. Okay. So when the police came, they brought me to Singapore General Hospital.
Okay.
Okay, to attend to my wounds.
Right.
But they also noticed that I was high.
Okay.
So what they did was they handcuffed me to the gurney.
Yep.
All right. And they, if I'm not wrong, a police rule says that when you are escorting a suspect,
Yeah.
you have to be present with that person.
Yeah.
So I think he thought I was high. So he left me alone.
Right.
So when I was wheeled into the operation theater,
Yeah. Operating theater.
yeah, because I had wounds,
How bad were they that you had to go into the OT?
it was quite bad. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Wounds not that interesting.
Okay.
When he wheeled me in, okay, I pretended to be sleeping, but I wasn't,
Okay.
He had to take out my handcuffs.
Right. Because you were going to the OT.
Yes.
Right.
And guess what I did?
Oh, don't tell me.
I did a runner, dude.
Oh.
I did a runner and I jumped.
Jump
the
from where?
Third floor.
You're not shitting me. I'm SGH.
Yep.
And what happened? You jumped and?
I jumped. I
3
tell
floors.
you,
Uh-huh.
3 floors. That is why I always said, in my whole life, God has always been with me. Because without Him, I would have died long ago.
You don't say
I
that too,
jumped,
man. Yeah, man.
Dude, nothing broke.
Come on.
I kid you not, nothing broke. Okay.
3 stories.
I landed on a grass patch, on
Okay.
a grass verge.
Yeah.
Okay. Only thing happened to me was I sprained my ankle and my back very badly. Okay.
Okay.
My whole body was covered in blood. You know, I was wearing the hospital gown where, you know, you can't see the front, but, you know.
Yeah, you butt
you're like
naked in the
mooning
back.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
butt
yeah.
naked in the back. Yeah.
And I ran. Okay, I hailed taxis after taxis. No one wanted to stop. I mean, who
Yeah,
wanted to
of
stop
course.
for a
No one
dude
would stop, man. Yeah.
who's bloodied all over? But, you know, in my mind, I wasn't rational then.
Sure.
So after running until I couldn't run anymore, I hid behind some bushes. Okay, I could see, like, you know, police cars were everywhere searching. You know, obviously searching for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when they found me, guess what happened?
What? What?
UEFA league, UEFA league football.
They were kicking you wholesale.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
If this is going to cause the police any trouble, guess what? Not my fault. It's yours. You did it to me. So, both hands, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Let me continue this first. Both hands out.
Yeah.
One police on each side,
Yeah.
holding on to me.
Yeah.
I was kneeling on the floor,
Yeah.
and they were kicking me.
Wow.
And I only remembered one guy said, "Eh?" Like, "Eh?" as in, I know him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started shouting to her, "Don't!" He said, "Don't." Then, poof, I blacked out. Because one of the police decided to do a Bruce Lee at the back of my neck.
And?
He kicked me and I blacked out. And I was carried back. To the hospital. Like, you know? Like, okay, and sorry, you have to excuse me. My frontal lobe, I think due to years of drug taking, is screwed my memory. That is my 3rd time in prison. 2nd time was robbery.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
No
bad, my
worries.
bad.
No worries. So now I can skip the 3rd one, so it's cool.
Yeah.
So that's the 3rd one, and you were kicked in the back of the head. And can we just continue with that first? Then
Yeah.
what happened?
I blacked out.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what they did to me.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the next thing I know, I woke up in Ward 34. So, no. I woke up in, was it? Wait, I woke up in Ward 34, correct.
Okay. Your frontal lobe's working fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
okay.
Frontal lobe or short-term memory, so yeah. So, Ward 34 is a ward dedicated to inmates
Mm-hmm.
or people in custody.
Okay.
So I was there for like 1 week before I was sent to court and then sentenced to 6
But
years.
what happened to your neck and all that? All the injuries you've got? I mean, was it that serious?
The only thing serious was my sprain to my leg,
Your leg
to
and
my
your
ankle
back.
and my back.
Yeah, ankle and your back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's go to
Second
one,
okay.
the robbery.
So second one was, like I said, same thing. After that, I went on a run.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I needed money, so one day on pills, I went to a shop. Okay, I had money on me. I can't recall how much.
Sure, don't worry.
But when I went to pay for what I bought,
Yeah.
and the guy opened the till, suddenly I told myself I needed all that money. Okay, I grabbed and I wanted to run, and of course I didn't run. It was in Serangoon Road.
Okay.
I got cornered and I got koropok jalan.
Cornered by who? Bystanders
Yep.
in Little India.
Yep. I mean, if you watch YouTubes of things happening in India, you can have an idea of,
Okay. So a bunch of people got down on you.
Yep.
Kropo.
Okay, koropok. And
Okay.
I remembered I had a jackknife on me that day. I pulled out my jackknife and it was a bad habit of mine, carrying.
I'm not going to
weapon.
ask you what the fuck you're
Yeah.
doing with jackknife this time. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so,
And you took it out.
yeah.
You used it.
I mean, if you were to ask me, all you need to do is look at answer number 1.
Answer number 1.
The first time you asked me what.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not going to ask you that question
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
No
Big
point.
rats. They are big rats.
Big rats, yeah. So you used it.
I tried to use it,
Uh-huh.
but there was just too many people.
Okay.
There's just too many
That
people.
many, yeah.
Yeah, that many.
And then what
Because I
happened to
got
you?
keropok until the police came, and then I was pulled to Beach Road Police Station.
Okay.
And for the 1 week that I was remanded there, dude, I created havoc inside there. Havoc.
In the police station.
Havoc. I kid you not.
Fuck me.
Havoc.
What's what's wrong with you,
You know,
dude?
last time, previously, now they have like cement blocks as beds.
Yeah.
Last time they had like planks, bug infested planks.
Yeah.
So I was placed alone in a cell.
Right.
So in my possession,
Uh-huh.
I had like 100 pills. Okay?
Yeah.
But these pills are okay. Those pills were what I needed.
Yeah.
All right. They were from a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All the police know this is part of my medication.
Mm-hmm.
So every day I would say, I need my medication. I needed my medication. I came out. They asked me how many. I said 3 times a day, 1 pill a day. But each time I go out, it's not 1 pill. I was like, they're not looking pop, 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 one whole slap. And then I'll just pop as many pills as I can. Yep. And inside there, when they don't allow me out to have my cigarette break, to have a stick of cigarette, or to take my medication when they're not free. Like I said, I created havoc. I'll overturn the planks. I'll start shouting vulgarities.
So basically, you were just harassing the cops
Yep.
from inside the cell.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, of course, they during then I think the first or second day, they tried to dissuade me from my ways, by being physical. All right. During then, cops could do that one, not
Okay.
now.
Okay.
But after what they did, and they found out, that didn't work. All right. They tell themselves, I better stop it. So each time I shouted, they allowed me to go out.
But you were eventually charged
Yes.
for?
40, no, that was robbery.
Oh, that's considered robbery.
Yeah. So, but the judge said, why do you admit to robbery? That to me, that's a snatch theft.
Yeah.
But, since you admitted to robbery, so be it. So the guy, like I said, during my third arrest, the guy said, that was my IO from the second.
Oh, from Beach Road.
Yes.
Oh boy. And then he told him to stop. Why did he tell him to stop? Because he knew you already. Because he knew you?
Because I guess 2 things. I can only guess.
Uh-huh.
He saw that he knew me, and then he saw the guy was like going to flying kick my neck.
Oh, okay.
And dude,
that would be over the limit, you mean?
you do not flying kick a person on the neck.
Oh, well, he's being...
Because you can break the person's neck.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah. So you were, second time, you were sentenced?
40 months and 12 strokes of the cane.
Cane?
Yes.
So were you caned?
Yes.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how was it? I've heard a lot of horror stories about it, but how was it for you?
Obviously, caning is not a pleasant experience at all. Horrifying. Dare I say, traumatizing experience. All right. So let's get some rules that prison has or have out of the way first.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Rule number 1. If you are in a gang, when you get caned, you can't say anything. No, nope. You have to keep quiet. Your lips must be sealed. Okay.
That's a prison rule.
Yes.
You mean amongst the inmates?
Amongst the inmates.
Amongst the inmates, okay.
Because if you were to say anything, you get ostracized.
Wow.
You get ridiculed and you get ostracized.
But they don't watch you getting caned, do they?
They don't, but people sure can hear you from outside.
Okay. So it's not a separate block where...
No. I mean, it's a separate block, but I'm not the only one getting caned that day.
So you guys do hear people scream?
Yes. Okay, so that is a prison rule, huh? All right. So when you go, first time before I went for my caning, all right, of course I was scared, Chris.
Sure.
I mean, who wouldn't be? I heard horror stories of it.
Of course, yeah.
Then, I was like panicking, and then there will be a lot of old birds, old jailbirds, relax lah, bo tai ji lah, you know what I mean or not? So I remember clearly this one guy that came to me. They used to call me Amokian lah. So
Okay.
Amokian, relax. Okay, bo tai chi what gong.
Mm.
No problem. I tell you, I've taken a lot of strokes before, and I can tell you this for sure. First few strokes, definitely you feel the pain. But you know, as you get more and more strokes, your backside will get number and numb. You know, you don't feel that pain anymore because your backside gets numb.
Right.
Then I think about it, isn't that true? Right? That's true, what? Very logical, what?
Mm-hmm.
So I felt at ease, all right?
Okay.
I mean, this is like more than 25 years ago, you know,
Okay.
this happened. I mean, how I wish I could meet the guy right now, today, so that I can slap his face, all right? So I can slap his face, you know?
So he was full of shit, basically.
That was full of shit. It was totally untrue, dude. The pain only got worse. What do you mean, numb?
Numb
Numb my foot, numb.
What was the experience?
Okay,
man?
so when we get through caning, we are stripped naked. Okay? And then we are
Spread-eagled.
not spread eagle, we are shackled to an A-frame. During then it was A-frame. Nowadays it's aluminum frame.
Okay.
Okay? So the superintendent of the prison will be present.
Right.
So Mark, remember I said naked.
Right.
Superintendent can be male or female.
female.
Okay? And after our caning, we have to we will be marched up and we have to say thank you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like shit, I'm gonna say thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? First stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays when they cane you, it's like the caner will stand behind you and then swing his arms.
Yeah.
Caners are all specially selected people from the spear unit, prison commandos unit.
Okay.
All of them have biceps either your size or bigger than your biceps.
Okay.
I kid you not.
Right.
Okay. During the 90s, they could do the two-step. I call that the two steps.
Mm-hmm.
You know how people throw a short putt
Running 2 steps.
with the spinning kind
Yep.
of thing?
Yep.
To pick up momentum.
Yep.
Yep, my caner did that, dude.
If you do it, there's a pirouette, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. When the first stroke was called up, Rotan Satu. Okay, and I heard bam, the first stroke landed on me. This is what I felt, Chris. I felt like, it was a big wooden plank or block had hit me in my backside. And I told myself, it's painful, but I can take this shit. Okay?
Okay.
I can take this shit. So first stroke landed in the middle of my bum.
Okay.
Then came stroke number 2.
Right.
Okay, I can't recall, was it on top or below?
Right.
So basically it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, something
Right.
like this,
Right.
Three lines. So when the second stroke landed, same thing. Blunt kind of pain,
But
very
manageable.
painful, but manageable.
Right.
Of course, pain level increased a bit lah.
Okay.
And then the third stroke came.
Yeah.
I told myself, pain is increasing, but you can take it.
Right.
All right? And then came the fourth stroke, dude. Guess where the fourth stroke landed?
Where?
On my first stroke.
Zun on
Chun, okay? And that is when the party begins. Seriously.
Okay. How did it feel?
First
like?
stroke
Yeah.
would soften your skin.
Right.
Okay, if you go into YouTube, you'll check it out.
Yeah.
There will be a white line.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And then when the cane starts piling up, the stroke starts piling up,
Yeah.
that is when your skin starts to open, split.
Okay.
And then the blood starts running down.
Right.
Okay, so I remember when the fourth stroke hit, I went, oh my God. But you can't say anything. You have to grit your teeth and not say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Fifth, sixth, and the seventh stroke landed on my thighs. It landed on my thighs, and I tell you, seventh stroke onwards, my legs started spasming automatically. Couldn't stop shaking. My muscles like shook. It didn't stop until after the 12 strokes. Serious. I'm serious.
I thought it was only isolated to the butt, not the legs.
Yes. Murphy's Law again, right? Okay, isolated. Nowadays, if I'm not wrong, they have a sandbag tied to your back with only your backside coming out.
Yeah.
During then, no. During then, the sandbag was only tied
To your back, your spine.
your spine area to protect your kidneys and your liver. That's it. Yeah. So after 12 strokes, of course, I was bleeding, and it didn't help that I was the second person. The first person in front of me took 12 strokes also.
Right.
He was a foreigner. I believe he was either from Bangladesh or from India.
Right.
And right from the very start, the first stroke, he started, Amma, Amma. What? I tell you, you know how much fear he instilled in me? Just by shouting like, oh
I can
my
imagine, man.
gosh, I tell you. And over here, I was like trying to act as brave as I could. I was trying to act as brave as I could
So you took the 12 without making a sound.
without making a sound. And then after leaving the caning area, we were marched to a holding cell.
Okay.
So we were told to put your hands on the wall. So during then, there will be this baba boy, means nurse's helper, holding a pail, okay, with a brush inside. The brush is dipped in iodine, okay, so that he could
Brush
help you brush your
wound.
backside. Yeah.
It's going to cause more pain, man.
And the brush they used wasn't, like those Softland kind of brush. It was
I'm
It
not
was
trying
like
to be
a-
funny, but it's what we call a Bruce.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Seriously.
No shit. You mean
No
the
shit.
hard ones?
Yes.
They used to scrub the floors with.
It wasn't like that, but it was more like what painters would use.
Okay.
The hard ones?
Yeah. Fuck me. Why? Why can't he just use
To help you so that your
You've been punished already, so why do
that wasn't a form of punishment. What
But,
they was trying to disinfect your wound.
but they could use like something softer, right?
Nowadays they use spray.
Okay.
Yeah, nowadays.
Right. So
But not
did
then.
you say thank you to the superintendent?
During then, I don't remember. So for my first and second caning, I don't remember. But I remember specifically my third time I took the caning, which was during my last incarceration.
Fucking hell! You mean to say the first 12 wasn't the first and last?
Yeah, so first time was 12, then followed by 6 strokes, and then my last incarceration was 3 strokes. All right, so during my last incarceration, the SOP was a female. That is why I could remember it, I mean, being stripped butt naked, all right, having your backside caned in front of a woman is humiliating enough, dude, okay? After caning, the ASP was standing beside me, said, come, go to SOP, said thank you. I refused to say thank you. I refused. I really refused. I told myself, charge lah. Really, I told myself.
And did they charge?
The superintendent said, never mind. She waved him off, said, never mind. Yeah. But if it were any other superintendent, because I remember there was another lady who was she was assistant superintendent. If she was there that day, I would definitely get charged.
Okay.
I'm not going to mention names, but those who have been during LT 2012 until 16, they will know who I mean.
Okay. So this wasn't the first instance that you were caned. There's a second incarceration. They talked about the third one. The third one where you caned. The one where you jumped out of the third floor is GH.
Yeah, 6 strokes.
That was 6 strokes.
Yes.
And for how long?
6 years.
6 years.
Yes.
6 years.
Yeah.
For
the third one for 6 years.
robbery. 6 years.
No, second one was 14 months,
Sorry, yeah,
12
yeah,
strokes.
yeah.
The third one was 6 years and 6 strokes.
Okay. And then let's talk about all this while all these things were not about drug possession and consumption as well.
Which one? The third one?
The third one.
Oh, third one, there were a lot of cases, a lot. I had like 30 over
a lot
charges.
of charges, yeah.
30 over, but they only, they TIC'd most of them except
What's TIC?
7, take into consideration.
Okay.
Okay. Except like 7 or 8 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is why I only got 6 years.
Okay. Let's talk about your fourth one.
Okay. Fourth one was an easy one. It was just consumption and possession.
Mm-hmm.
So first I was charged to DRC because consumption.
Mm-hmm.
3 months into my DRC,
Mm-hmm.
they pulled me out and charged me in court for possession,
Mm-hmm.
of which I served 3 years.
But all this time when you were serving, like the 6 years you served, was completely heroin free and pill popping free.
Yep.
And you came out and you started again.
Yes.
Oh boy. And the caning didn't really help you to decide to stop. Even the caning.
Why would you think that caning or a long incarceration period would help?
Why not?
What made you think that way?
Simply because, man, you were incarcerated, namely also because of consumption as well as possession. You were caned, and the pain, the story you just described, man, is excruciating pain. And
you know-
even with that,
Do you know one thing? People would a lot of people have the misconception that when someone does wrong, you punish him as harsh as you can.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out again, he does the same mistake. Go ahead and punish him even more, and that would help. That does not help at all. It only creates the opposite effect. Why?
Why?
This is what we call institutionalized. I am so accustomed to life inside there, okay? Going back into prison means nothing to me. I can tell you there's this case, this person that I know,
Right.
okay? I know that person very well.
Mm-hmm.
He's older than I am,
Mm-hmm.
probably 10 or 10 over years older than I am.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in prison since he was like 17 or 18.
Mm-hmm.
Non-stop, my dude. He'll go in like 3 years, he'll come out, sometimes few months, he'll go back in again, come out like 1 over year, pump, going back in again. In and out,
It's
in
like
and
going
out.
on vacation, man.
Exactly. Until his 50s, huh? Okay?
Uh-huh.
He has a nice private apartment to stay in, all right? During, when he came out for the last time, okay, he has his private apartment,
Okay.
a room given to him,
Mm-hmm.
air conditioned and everything, a nice bed.
Mm-hmm.
When he came out, when I visited him, guess where he slept?
Where?
He slept on the floor in the hall.
Because he was so used.
Exactly. Because he was so used to life in prison. That was how we sleep in prison, dude. Not only that, when I used the bathroom, okay, you bathe with as big a towel as possible, right?
Yeah.
Soft, cotton, thick.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what he used?
What?
He used a face towel. Because that was what we used in prison. And not only that, the same brand lagi.
He got so accustomed.
Good Morning brand.
The
you
good
know?
morning, yeah. The good morning towel, yeah.
And then his toothbrush, toothpaste, it's in the mug, placed nicely by the basin, exactly like what we did in prison.
So this is what? He's addicted to going to prison.
No, he's institutionalized. He's so used to life inside there.
Yeah.
When he comes out,
Yeah.
he finds difficulty in adjusting.
Right.
So does punishment really help? It does not really help. Punishment without rehabilitation, I should say, okay, doesn't work. Punishment alone will not work, okay? Why do I say that? Is also this. You know, at one point in Singapore, when they came out with this long term for drug consumption, meaning first 2 times you take drugs, DRC. Third time, you're considered a criminal. Third time onwards will be minimum 5 years in prison and 3 strokes of the cane. Minimum for drug consumption. Okay? You know what's the minimum for first time drug trafficking? 5 years. And 5 strokes of the cane. If someone has a tummy ache, you do not give him paracetamol to cure him of his tummy ache.
Give him charcoal.
You give him medication that suits him.
Suits the
Exactly.
condition. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if his condition, drug addiction, is a condition of the mind, he doesn't have a criminal mind or something. He goes out stabbing people, robbing, for the fun of it, just because he wants to do it, right? Drug addiction is a problem of the mind. So if you don't treat it properly, how do you expect that person to change? By putting him behind bars as long as possible? Will that help? No.
So what you're saying is you got to have rehabilitation as the top foremost thing to do for these guys.
So I understand that, and some form of punishment has to be there. I understand and I agree.
Right.
Right. You can't be fully rehabilitation, no form of punishment.
Right.
Then everyone would want to commit crime in Singapore. I understand. Okay. But punishment must be accompanied by rehabilitation if you truly want that person to change.
Right.
All right. What is your priority? Is your priority to punish, or is your priority to change that person? So what is our priority?
So today, in today's context, things are still the same.
Nope. It has improved.
Okay.
Okay. In the 90s, it was purely about punishment. Purely. Okay. You'll be locked. I mean, for the set amount of years that you're sentenced, you'll be locked behind bars. Okay. The keys will be kept in the locker, and then time for you to go out. They'll open the door, and then off you go. And everyone would think that, inmates going out on that day, they'll be so excited because they have not seen like sunlight, seen daylight for so long. And when the prison gates open wide and they take their first step out and breathe the clean, fresh air of freedom, they will go, hallelujah. And that, my friend, only happens in the movies. Okay? What really happens is this. Before every inmate goes out, you know how much fear we have in us?
What kind of fear?
How much uncertainty? How is life going to be? Right? Some of them, when they go out, no support from their families. You think they want to come back to prison? Most of us don't want to. But we just don't know where to go to. How are we going to live our life? All right, our basic needs. How do we meet our basic needs? Food, lodging. I know government said lots of agencies available. All they need to do is ask. That is the problem, asking. Right? Not everyone is willing to ask.
Or know how to.
Yep. What about those people?
Yeah. Bruce, you got married after your fourth incarceration.
Yes.
You met someone, you fell in love.
Yes.
How did that happen?
After I came out, all right, I worked in a karaoke pub, all right, and I was a bouncer down there.
Okay.
Yeah, so my then girlfriend, she loved singing, all right. So every day after work, or most 3-4 times a week at least, she'll come down, belt a few songs, and then she'll go home.
Okay, a customer basically. She was a customer.
Yeah, and of course, a good-looking dude like me.
And then you guys started dating.
Yeah.
Okay, and she knew your background.
So one strange thing about me is this: I never like to hide my past.
Okay.
I like to lay all my cards on the table.
Okay.
Okay. If I think we're getting serious, okay, this is who I am or who I was. Are you okay with it? If you're not okay, I'm fine.
And she was.
Yeah, she was.
And then you popped the question.
Yep.
And you guys got married.
Yes.
That was before you went in for the first time. Fifth time. The fifth and last time.
Yes, I popped the question. Yes.
Okay.
Before the fifth time.
And then did you have a daughter? Yes, we talked about that.
Yes.
And did she excuse me, did she arrive before or after your fifth incarceration?
After.
After.
I was arrested on the eve of Vesak Day 2012. Okay. And during then my daughter was 3 years and 1 month old.
Yeah.
And basically like what I shared during part one, I told myself, if I ever have a family, I would never be an absentee father.
Yes.
I would do the best that I can to love and nurture and raise my daughter.
Yes.
But then my worst fears came true. I became an absentee father. I'm not there to see my daughter grow up. All right. The day I was arrested, until the day I was released, I kid you not. I'm not ashamed to say this. I miss my daughter so much. So much. I cried so many times in prison. But in prison, you cannot cry lah. You wait for lights off, then you double lock, and then you start crying. Okay? I cry myself so often. It was during the first year of my incarceration that my eyes started giving me problems. Okay? So I'm now basically long and short-sighted. All right? And when I went into prison, okay, when we go into prison, you get a body checkup, they check your blood pressure and everything.
Right.
And I was okay. Blood pressure, everything, cholesterol, everything cool.
Mm.
Less than a year, dude, my blood pressure was up like what? 199 over 101.
Wow.
And the nurse got a shock. He said, Bruce, do you know that you can get a stroke at any time? And the best part was no symptoms, no headache, no nothing. I was like normal.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm on high blood and high cholesterol medication. Of course, you see me wearing my glasses too.
But it was a kind of a surprising thing that you got when you got these ailments, high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Yeah.
So,
but what did you do to go in for the fifth and the last time?
Okay, the fifth and the last time was drug consumption.
So you, despite having become a father, and with the promise that you made yourself, that you want to start a good family and be that good dad that you never had, you still went back.
Yes, I did.
To the drugs.
Yes, I went. Yes, I did.
And you were caught again.
Yes, I was caught again.
And this fifth and last time you went in was for how long?
For 5 years and 9 months and 3 strokes of the cane. 5.5 years for drug consumption and 3 months for assaulting a public servant.
You hit a cop?
More or less.
How old were you then?
2012, do the math, dude.
No, 42.
Yeah, more or less
42, 43, coming 43. Okay, so you went into 43, you were in for 5.5 years, you were out by the time you were about 49.
Yep.
That wasn't long ago.
Yep.
And you miss your daughter every single day.
So what happened was 11 months. Okay, so in prison nowadays, we have 2 visits every month.
Yep.
Unlike before, the days are fixed. Nowadays, you can choose the days you want to come. So they only allow you 1 face-to-face visit.
Okay.
All right? But 1 face-to-face, 1 televisit. Or you can have 2 televisits, but you can't have 2 face-to-face. So my daughter during then, very strange. She didn't like the televisit. So she only came for the face-to-face. And that was like once a month.
Right.
Okay. So my wife would bring her to visit me once every month. All right. And for the next 20 minutes when she was there, she would dominate the whole visit, dude. All right. She was only 3 years old.
Sure.
All right. She wanted to play with me, and that was all we did.
Right.
Okay. Each and every time after the
separated still by
separated.
The screen.
Yeah. I would put on a brave front, wave bye-bye, but each time I turn away, I would start crying.
I know, bro.
So, 2013 in April, when she came to visit me, that day was special. That day was her exact birthday. All right, she had turned 4. And then my wife dressed up my daughter in a brand new dress that my daughter was so proud of because she knew she looked beautiful. I'm going to look beautiful for my father, So when she stepped into the cubicle, of course, she was so proud of the dress that she started parading. All right. So happy to see her. And then when she sat down, when all of us were sitting there, I sang her a birthday song. I wished her happy birthday. I sang her a song. She was so happy. You can see that big smile on her face. Eyes sparkling. And she was like smiling, I was clapping, she was clapping, my wife was clapping, everyone was so happy, During that 1 minute that I was singing, okay, it was just like I was not in prison. I only had eyes for my daughter.
Mm.
Then after the song, the bomb dropped. Okay, my daughter looked at me with those big, after I show you her picture when she was like 4 years old, oh my gosh, you don't believe it. You understand what I'm saying, right? She looked at me with those big eyes. She said, Dada, very happy. Carrie.
Oh, man.
When she said those words, Carrie, I tell you, Chris, my heart dropped. Seriously, it went straight, boom. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do.
Oh,
I was
man.
shocked,
Oh, man.
I just sat down there and stared at her. Then my daughter saw no reaction from me and she went, Dada, Carrie, what can I do? I did the only thing I could, and that was to shake my head. When she saw me shaking my head, Chris, she bawled and cried her head off. I want to go home. I want to go home. Like I said earlier on, I never missed one visit in prison. Even when my mom had breast cancer, she discharged herself just to come and visit me. That visit, I never got to finish. Because my daughter was crying so loudly, she was affecting the other inmates. So my wife had to bring her and leave. I tell you, that really broke my heart.
Was that your turning point?
That day was my turning point. That day, it really broke my heart.
What did you decide? What did you decide?
I told myself, Bruce, you got to stop. You got to call this a day. You got to call it a day. Because if I don't, Chris, this is going to happen all over again. And my exact words to myself was this, Bruce, I don't think your heart can take it one more time.
Your wife stuck by you, huh? Throughout the time
yes.
that she stuck by you.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
I think that's wonderful, man.
Yep. I mean, I tell you, without all this support system that I have, that is why I always say I'm very blessed. Despite my wrongdoings time and time again, I have a mother who is supportive each and every time. I can't say the same for many inmates who are on the inside. Although I've been in prison when I was married, okay, my wife didn't leave me. I can't say the same for many inmates on the inside.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this. If it was not for them, will my life be different? Of course it would be, Chris. Okay? To me, God sent my daughter down, okay, to show me the error of my ways, to make me change. Because I don't think, I don't think if it was for that episode, I don't think I would ever change, Yeah.
When we were about to end part one, I asked you to say something nice to your daughter. I think right now, can I ask you to do the same to your missus and your mom?
Sure.
Right to the camera.
Okay.
Can we do that? It's all yours, man.
Okay, to all the misses listening out there, I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for the support, the care and the love, the unconditional support, care and love that you've given me all this while. And because I do have these from you, things have been easier for me. Not that I'm deserving of it, all right? Not that I'm deserving, but things have been easier. I know that I'm Eurasian and not an easy person to be with, but we can talk about that later, huh? All right, so thank you.
I should say that to my wife. I know I'm Eurasian too, not easy to live with. Bruce, it's been such a lovely story, man. You're out. You've been out for a while. You intend to stay out.
What is today? What is the date today? Tell me.
Geez, thanks for that pop quiz.
Yes.
Damn.
You have your phone.
Friday the 5th of March.
5th of March. Right?
Yeah.
Guess what?
Oh.
Today is the eve of 5 years of freedom.
No shit.
Oh, sorry. The eve of the eve. Yeah, the eve of the eve. Yeah, the eve of the eve.
Happy anniversary, mate.
Thank you.
5 years of freedom.
Yeah.
You stayed free for 5 years.
Yes.
Free of everything.
Yes.
And you're going to stay free.
That's the plan.
Promise
dude.
me.
That's
Promise
the
me.
plan. Promise.
Promise me, brother.
And what are you gonna do if I don't keep my brother?
I mean, I can't do shit. You know that.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
but
Yeah.
promise me, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that is the plan. That is the plan. I have been working hard this past 5 years.
Yeah.
Not as in working hard to save money.
Yeah.
You know, just before my release
Yeah.
from prison, I had this very big fear in me.
Mm-hmm.
Fear of not knowing what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, during then, there was an impending divorce between my wife coming up. Something that was mentioned right at the beginning of my prison sentence.
Okay.
Okay. But I managed to persuade her to not do it first, postpone until my release. My words were, at least let me have a chance to defend myself. I can't do that in 20, 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she agreed to it. And you know, for 4 years, my daughter dominated the visit. I didn't get to talk to her at all. Yeah. Except the occasional hi, hello, you know, how's things, and that's it. So one would think that, you know, your relationship, dude, is screwed. Screwed for sure, right? That was how I felt. So I think it was, I can't recall how many months during my visit, you know, my release. I was so fearful, so scared of the unknown. I don't know how things
pan out.
Yes, you know, I didn't have savings. I got no skills.
Right.
The only skill I have is a driving license.
Right.
Right? That, what? I was like mid-40s already, with no educational level, or not high enough, one that's high enough, with a slew of prison offenses behind me, okay, with absolutely minimal working experience. What are my options in life? Absolutely close to zero, Chris. Okay? And you know, during one of those days where I was totally gripped with fear, I prayed. I prayed to God, and I said, God, I cannot handle this. I really cannot handle this. I'm so scared, right? And I said, I leave it all into your hands. I leave it all into your hands. You know, if a divorce comes my way, then I accept, because it's my fault.
Yeah.
No one else's fault. I'm the one that screwed things up.
Yeah.
You know, if my life is going to be difficult henceforth, then so be it. Because I'm the one to blame, no one else.
Yeah.
Right? And during those times, or during that day, I was doing my quiet time, and then, you know, God spoke to me with a passage of verse in the Bible. The verse is from Jeremiah.
Okay.
And God said this, you know, God said, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. And God said, then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me. When you seek me with all your heart, I will be found by you, declares the Lord. And I will gather you from all the nations and places where I have banished you, and sent you back to the place from which I sent you into exile. You know, when I listen to those verses, I tell you, Chris, wow. It's like God telling me, you don't have to worry. You don't worry. I know the plans I have for you. I know what's in store for you. You may not know it. I know it. All you need to do is keep yourself close to me. And I'm going to restore you. I'm going to restore you and bring you back to the place where you should be.
And you know, Bruce, I like I said, you know, in part one, I've encountered you throughout different parts of my life as well. And today these last two episodes have been Wow. I mean, I see a different side of you. It's one of the most riveting stories of a person's life I've ever had on this show. I want to wish you, your mom, your lovely wife, and your beautiful daughter all the very best that life can give.
Thank you.
Okay, I really do. I mean, you deserve all the very best that life can give.
Thank you.
And once again, thank you for being on Kopi with Chris.
My welcome. Most welcome. And you know one thing?
Yeah.
My daughter still has to do her homework.
So does my son. Wow, it's been a long show today. Thank you so very much for joining Bruce Mathieu, my Kopi Kaki, and myself, Chris Henson, on this episode of KWC Kopi with Chris. It's a long-ass episode, but it's worth every minute to watch this. You will find us also, not just on Facebook, but also on YouTube, and eventually Spotify and iTunes. Until next time, stay safe, stay sane. Bye-bye, everyone.